Welcome to In the Loop, the Walton Chamber of Commerce podcast, where we share the stories, ideas, and people helping our business community grow and thrive. We dive into conversations that keep you informed, inspired, and connected. Let's jump in for today's episode. Hello, I'm Teri Smiley, President of the Chamber of Commerce, and I am your host today for the Chamber podcast, In the Loop. So I'm so excited to be here today with Susan Sykes. Susan served as our 2025 Chair of the Chamber Board, and Doug Blevins is our 2026 Chair of the Chamber Board. So thank y'all for joining us for our first podcast. Y'all excited?
My pleasure. Yeah, glad to be here.
Awesome. Okay, before we dive in to the questions, Susan, tell us what you do when you're not chambering.
Well, so I work with the Eulalia Group. I'm the broker for the real estate portion of the company. So a lot of what I do is just being involved with people around town, getting to know more people, keeping abreast of what's going on in our county so that I can better help our clients.
Awesome. And Doug, what about you?
I spend my time covering the wonderful people of Walton County. So owner of Alpha Insurance, Doug Blevins Agency and Associates, and I'm the low man on that totem pole. So I do any and all things that are needed.
The low man.
The low man.
Okay.
Least important.
The owner, the low man, whatever. Yes. Okay. So what convinced you to say yes to serving as chair of the Walton County Chamber Board? Susan, we'll let you go first since you just wound up your first year, or your year.
Yes. Right. So saying yes to being on the board was an easy yes. That was a no-brainer. Saying yes to being the chair was a heart flutter. I told Teri the first time that it was mentioned, she was like, you know, this is like how it goes. You know, eventually you get to be in this position. And I thought, oh, I'm not good at speaking in public. I don't know about that. But it's been a wonderful experience, but it truly was, being on the board was a no-brainer. I mean, being able to give back to the chamber that's given so much was absolutely a no-brainer.
Awesome. What about you, Doug? Why did you say yes to serving on the chamber board?
Well, I also did not know that that's how it goes. So that was news to me as well.
Surprise.
That's a well-kept secret that you folks have done a great job. It was an easy yes for me, too, mainly because I want to surround my days and be around people like Susan and yourself and Nathan and folks, that kind of paved the way, but before my time. And so it was a very easy yes for me. And you have to pick and choose what you say yes to, once you get involved and wrapped into so many things. And so sometimes you have to say no to the good stuff so you can say yes to the great stuff. And so to me, this was a great thing to say yes to.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have both of y'all on the board and serving as chair last year and incoming chair. All right, Doug, you first this time. Describe the chamber in 3 words.
Don't take my words.
Place to be.
Oh, place to be. Okay.
Oh, and I like that was a phrase. That wasn't, so you didn't take my words.
Okay. What's your 3 words?
Intentional, communicative, and really community. Because it's all about the community.
I agree with that.
Awesome. All right. What's your favorite chamber event or meeting and why, Susan?
Well, if you've come to any of the luncheons, then you know that I always started off by saying that this is my favorite meeting of the year because every luncheon is better than the next, but equally as good at the same time. They just cover so many things that we really need to know about. And if you're working or living in the county, you really need to keep ahead of the times and what's going on and be well informed about the state of the city, the state of the county, state of healthcare, the school system. So I can't pick one luncheon that's my favorite, but the luncheons are my favorites.
Awesome. What about you, Doug?
Yeah, it's luncheon, hands down.
Okay.
The chamber does such a great job of finding all the niches and everything to fill the void of everybody's schedule and, the morning things they do and the evening things they do and the things that are planned. But the luncheon, to me, is the thing that you make sure that you've got a clear spot on your calendar for. Because it's also... it's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck as far as if you want to actually be around everybody. I feel like that finds value in the chamber because everybody, look at the crowd that's there. So the folks that you want to see, that you want to be around, you can pretty much, hang your hat on. They're going to be there, even for the people that, can't work out the things in the mornings or the lunches or the certain groups. But the people that you're going to be able to see there. And kind of like one of your words, community. I feel like that's one of those things where there's that monthly connection with the folks that you you enjoy being around, whether you had time to, during the weeks prior or not.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you don't know what the luncheons are, they are monthly. We hold actually 9 a year. We don't hold one in January, June, July, and December. No, we do hold December. January, June, July are the months we don't hold them. And they are being in the know. Like they said, it really is about bringing programs to the community to let you know what's going on. And we average 100 to 130 people at every lunch. So that's kind of what that looks like. Susan, when you look back at your year as chair, what makes you proud?
That's another thing where I can't just say one thing.
Okay.
But I would say how the year has gone and just how people have worked together. That goes for the board of directors. That goes for the personnel here in the office, and of course our members. This actually will lead into another question, but I won't go there yet. But it's everybody just has each other's backs. If you have a shortfall and you need help, there's somebody else to step right in and pick you up. So that's what I'm probably most proud of. But it's also something that the chamber does very consistently.
I love that. What about, that's not your question for you yet. I got more questions for you. Okay. If you could give an advice to a future board member, what would it be?
So I think, honestly, that the best advice to a board member on any board, but particularly for the chamber, is to, when you come on to the board, listen, absorb it. I believe it was Einstein that said most people listen with the intent to respond and few people listen with the intent to understand. So instead of trying to formulate what your answer is or what your opinion is going to be on something, really listen to what's being said by the staff here with the chamber, the other board members, see what they've experienced in the past, because sometimes what we think might be the way we run it at our business is not necessarily how something needs to be done at the chamber or for the chamber. You're really thinking about, you could kind of look at it as this is one of the largest companies, in the state of Georgia, because it's not just the chamber employees, it's not just the chamber staff, it's not just the chamber board, it's all of the companies that are members, and trying to do what's best for all of them. So listen with the intent to understand, I think, is probably the best thing.
I like listen with the intent to say yes. So just say yes. Okay, Doug, what excites you most about 2026 chamber year?
Challenges.
Oh.
You got some big shoes to fill. You got Miss Susan stepping out of the way, and we know how wonderful she is. So very big shoes to fill. And of course, good friend Nathan before her. So there's a lot of legacy going on here. I think that you got to keep the momentum going. And I think that you can't lose any steam, but you got a lot of reputation to uphold as well. So, but love a good challenge, and also love just what the chamber has built and has already given such a good foundation to. So, honestly, I feel like this thing's running so good, you just keep your thumb on it. But I'm a little bit more all in than that.
Awesome. I was going to say you love a challenge because you're pretty competitive.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so on the competitive note, if we could do one thing really well in 2026, what would be that one thing you want to make sure happens?
I think that it would be making everybody understand exactly what all resources the chamber makes available to everybody. I think that from experience, when you get into the business world, or even if you're just a part of a business that has a use for the chamber, it's not just trying to fit it into one category, because the chamber does, as I learned, so many different things, and you really can't just say, well, the chamber does this. The chamber's involved in so much, and once you think that you know everything that this particular chamber does, you find out how impressive it is just because of, for example, we've got interns this week in the office at our agency from both Loganville and George Walton. And I know both of these headmasters, and it's because they both sit on the board at the Chamber of Commerce, and they sit right beside the superintendent from the public schools, and they share resources, and they get along, and they're buddies, and, it's like a quarterback competition. They make each other better, and it's not enemies or standoffish. And, I've heard you say and other people say, hey, this doesn't happen in other chambers. Right. Walton County is a special place, and we talk about the school system and our police department. Well, the chamber plays a big role in that, too. So I think that you really don't know what all the chamber has to offer until you dive in and start seeing exactly how it fits both your life and your business.
Yeah, I love that. And the one reason why we started the podcast.
For sure.
To let folks know, like, what all is the chamber a part of. So we'll have some students on in the future and different things. So we're excited. We're going to pause now for our sponsor.
This podcast is brought to you by ACT Services, where accident prevention is our intention. If you need employee training, give us a call. If you need OSHA compliance consulting, give us a call. If you need project safety personnel, give us a call. Go check us out at actsvces.com and just give us a call at 770-682-4343. Have a safe day today and every day with ACT Services.
All right. Thank you to ACT Services for being our January sponsor and for helping us set up this podcast room. We could not have set this up without them. So we are so excited that Tim Elliott helped us do this. So let's continue on. What do people misunderstand about the chamber? Who wants to take that one first?
I think
Go ahead, Susan.
Doug kind of touched on it in the last question. People pretty much think that the chamber is just another way of getting referrals and a way of networking, and they don't realize what you get out of it. I said at our annual banquet in 25 that you get out of it what you put into it, and that means not that you have to physically put something into it, but showing up for something that's being offered, because every week there are multiple opportunities to be involved. So it's, finding out where you fit in, what works best for your schedule, but also taking advantage of like the monthly meetings, luncheons that we talked about, where you're getting information back, really to help you better help your clients or your family even. But I think that's probably the most misunderstood thing about the chamber is people thinking that it's just a social networking, a business networking opportunity to try and drive your business, when it's really so much more than that. And I'll say, when I first joined the chamber, that was my thought. It's like, this will be a great way to meet new people. We were new to Walton County. Had brought our businesses here and wanted a chance to be able to meet other people that might be able to benefit from our services, and vice versa, building that collaboration, and had no idea how much I was going to get out from this. And that was about 15 years ago. So, yeah, it's been a wonderful relationship.
Awesome.
Well, my story mine actually mirrors Susan's. I was a brand new guy in town and a brand new insurance agency in town, so nobody knew Doug Blevins. Definitely nobody knew Alpha Insurance, Doug Blevins, Agency and Associates, so I started doing some research and the chamber pops up. So something that I had severely incorrect is that you do not have to be a business owner to benefit from the chamber. Look at how many people are beneficiaries of the chamber that are just at the luncheon we were talking about. And that was eye-opening to me because, we'll see people from Piedmont Walton, from the hospital, the school system, the private schools. You do not have to be a business owner to use and or benefit from the chamber. And that was huge to me, which, again, I think is eye-opening to others and a resource that people may be passing up on, especially large organizations that I see on a monthly basis that send advocates from their organization or their business, and it's not even the business owner that's there. Mm-hmm. So that was very eye-opening to me.
It's something we did a social media reel where we were talking about what people that are moving into Walton County need to know, what's a resource that they could tap into, and the chamber was the one that I mentioned, because even if you're not as a consumer, if you're looking, I find that I now go when I'm in another town or another county, I'll look at the chamber and see who their members are. If I need a soil surveyor or an appraiser, the chamber is a great resource even for a homeowner, just an individual that lives in the county. And I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Awesome. All right, Doug, what makes you most proud to be part of the Walton County Chamber?
The relationships. Awesome. I'm a big relationship guy. We're in my personal life and at the agency, everything is relational and not transactional. And to me, the relationships that have came, whether they were an origin of the chamber or where they originated at, the chamber is probably most important to me because of the relationships that either stemmed from it or that I continue on from folks that I see, involved in the chamber.
Yeah. What about you, Susan?
I might just have to borrow your answer.
Ditto.
The tagline for the chamber, relationships that last a lifetime. I mean, there's true truly no better tagline, because you're absolutely right. It's like you join for one reason and you stay for another.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good point, Doug. The relationships that, you make friends, you make, relationships with people that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to meet. So it really has been wonderful.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. That's one thing I love about our leadership program. The folks that go through that leadership program are from all different walks of life, 20 to 22 people in a class, and they all leave friends.
Yep.
They all leave
yeah.
with relationships
That's
that they
correct.
continue on. So.
As Mindy Maynard said in our group, I've made my new
best friends.
best 22 friends. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, you get a lot closer with the folks that you go through the burn house with.
Yes.
Right. That's right. That's right. Or to the mountain with, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's do a little rapid fire fun.
Let's go.
All right. Coffee or sweet tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Early
Have a
bird now.
third and make it like 3 in the afternoon.
3 in the afternoon?
I only stay up late for dog games, and I wish I wouldn't have done that
I
last
know,
week.
right? Oh, we won't go there. Email or phone call?
Email.
Email.
Paper planner or digital planner?
Digital.
Digital.
Okay. Networking event or one-to-one meeting?
I'm going one-to-one meeting.
That's actually a tough one. I like both, but I think I get more out of the one-to-one.
All right. Share with us your most used app on your phone.
The text app.
Text?
Oh, yeah. That or the Apple Music.
Apple Music. Okay. If the chamber had a theme song, what should it be?
With a little help from my friends.
Okay.
The Beatles. Yeah,
The Beatles?
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Guns N' Roses is my favorite band, so there was no way I was not working this in somehow. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Paradise City by Guns N' Roses
nice.
because, I mean, have you been to a chamber luncheon?
Yeah. There you go. Do you want to sing us? Anybody want to sing some of
I
it?
can. I don't want
Okay.
to get us canceled on the first week though.
Well, we don't want to get
We'll
canceled.
bring people back.
Yes. Okay. One thing people would be surprised to learn about you, Doug.
That I'm easygoing.
Okay.
Does that keep a straight
I'm
face?
surprised. I'm surprised. I'm just kidding.
I like to. I mean, I don't know if they'd be surprised to know it or not. I mean, I'm very routine, but I may be surprised to know that how relaxed I am on the weekends. Maybe.
Okay. Good.
Good balance. I would
about
say
you?
I'm very shy. Yeah, so now anybody that was in referral group with me in the early years of being a member at the chamber knows that anytime I stood up to do my speech, I started it off with, "I'm not good with talking in front of people."
So
That's changed over time, but yeah, still very shy.
I thought you were going to tell us about your degree versus what
Oh
you do
yeah,
for a living.
well that is a good one too. My degree is in horticulture. Yeah, I managed a wholesale plant nursery for 12 years. Mhm.
I might be able to trump that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mine's
let's
in
hear it.
computer networking.
Nice. Well, you still network.
Network,
the
it's not computers. Yeah. That's interesting. Interesting. All right. A final question we'll be asking all of our guests on the podcast. What is one small win you're celebrating this week?
After you said,
I don't know how small it is, but the Eulalia group, we're hosting a community input forum tonight at Grizzle Beer, which is one of our buildings that we've developed and revitalized. And we're looking for people to come and join us to give us input on a new development that we're doing in the city. And that's kind of a big win, like to be at this point, and we're really looking forward to meeting with people this evening and getting some communication going and hearing what the people in Walton County want to see and what they need. So that's
awesome.
Yeah, super excited about that.
Exciting.
so there's something I really want to share, and I'm having to hold it back. I can't. I just want to reference back to this, that when we do get to release it in February, this is what I wanted to say really bad. We had a incredible win this week, and I just want to brag on so many people so bad. So I'll reference back to the podcast as soon as we get to do that in about a month's time. What I would go with, I guess, that I can legally speak about would be, I'm pleased to death with the interaction that we have had with the 3 folks from Loganville Christian Academy and George Walton that have been in our office this week. One young man wanted to come so bad he came a day early before he was even
awesome.
required to be there. But They have been incredible, and it has really just made me full of pride. Even though we probably shouldn't do too much of that, but the things that they have shared and the things that my team has come back and told me that they shared has made me feel just incredible about just the trust and the honor about the schools to even ask us to do that. But what we have hopefully poured into these individuals that'll be doing bigger and better things than us one day has really been an awesome experience for me this week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have a LCA intern as well, and we were playing around practicing with the podcast before we invited you all here today. And we were interviewing him on the podcast, and we said, what did you think it was going to be like? And he said, a stuffy office. And we said, well, what is it like? It's like a big family up here.
That's the chamber.
Fun. And that's it, right? I mean, that's it. It's about the relationships. It's about being family. It's about making everybody feel like they're part of something bigger. So I appreciate both of your involvement with the chamber, and I really appreciate y'all taking time to be here for our first podcast. For you listeners out there, on January 22nd, we will gather together for our 78th Chamber Annual Banquet.
Wow. And
that is presented by Piedmont Walton, and you can find more information on that and get tickets at www.waltonchamber.org/events. Thank you for joining us on In the Loop. If you enjoyed today's conversation, share it with others, and don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss another episode. We'll see you next time, and until then, stay connected.